this? What have I done? So Plat Lucio. So can I already tell here? Not wall riding around the beginning. I see every Lucio ever wall riding around the beginning. Not you know, be critical, but hey, it's legit. So right here, right off the bat, this wall goes up. You're Lucio. Like you're probably not gonna, you know, you're not gonna save this Genji. But at least just get aggressive here. Just go up on this wall, come up here or over here, and just take a couple shots. Start building this because you need this quickly, and you're going to be on speed a lot of the time. So getting any kind of advantage you can is just the best things you can do. Use your kit. I don't think you've gone off the ground yet, at almost at all. You know, you see somebody low there, so you want to use amp, but let me tell you why I don't think you should. You have this guy still alive, right next to him. As long as he doesn't peek like an idiot, you're typically going to be okay. Save it for a little bit longer. If everybody's starting to get low, go for it. But I mean, you could switch on to heals if you want real quick, but I'd like to see you push in here, because you need the speed to beat the Mei wall, right? So if I were you here, I'd probably be starting to tell your team, hey, like we can speed in together on 3, 1, 2, 3, and then try to speed in together as an entire group. It's Plat, probably not going to happen, but hey, at least you get a chance of doing it, right? And trying to save whoever is the one that gets walled off. Oh, Ren's dead.
Yo, break the middle, break the middle, break the middle. Mercy,
so if you had amp during that, right, when they break through, this Ryan is dead, 100%, right, 110%. But if you speed into this room, you probably catch 1 or 2 people here. Little opportunities. Not saying you win this, but at least it's an opportunity to try.
We stabilize. Their Mercy's dead. Our Ryan's on the side.
Good attempt. I like that. I'd like to see more of that, though. I don't think you're almost at all on the walls. Like, you are literally boots on the ground, Lucio here. Nice. I like the aggression there. So you're one of the few people here on your team that can actually do that and get out. So you had a Genji, he could do it. Junkrat kind of can, but like Junkrat here is just kind of garbage. McCree can't, Ryan can't, Zarya can't, Ana can't. So you're one of the few people here who can get aggressive and get out from the Mei wall and be okay.
Ready? Go,
Also, it's the first thing I've noticed, but I feel like you play on a very high sensitivity because you're very jittery. These little movements right here are pretty good, but at least you seem to overflick a little bit when you're tracking targets, which is fixable, but definitely takes some time. So, okay. Right, this is the best possible scenario you could have had, right here, right? Wait for it. 1, 2 picks as you cap. Perfect. What is your best ability in the game? Speed. Who could you speed here? Watch this number. Watch this number.
Okay, we go straight in.
All lagging behind because you don't turn around to pick them up. So in this kind of a situation where you get those two picks, you're going to rush down main, right? That is your play. That is your best play. You want everybody there though. You need to pick these people up. These are the slow people. Ryan can charge so you get those a little quicker. McCree's slow as shit. Ana's an old woman. And Junkrat's just kind of an asshole. So these people need to be picked up way ahead of time. And your Zarya is alone on point during all of this. Your Zarya made pretty much the right play, but like, she was a little far out in front, right? A little far out in front, I'll give it that. But the problem is like you guys should have been there faster. Like this Mei wall should have came in like as you guys were already there, right? But because you guys are so far behind, or everybody else is so far behind, she just gets rolled. She's already grabbed. You're coming in a little bit late here. You don't take this fight. I would be shocked if you took this fight. Oh my god, the audio. I'm gonna turn that down for now. Till it recovers. I don't know, I think you alt-tab after that, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, taxi us, Lucio. Yeah, taxiing is part of Lucio's job. He's an Uber driver. You want to get your rating to a 5 out of 5 Lucio taxi. Okay, so you do it here. A little bit of taxing in the beginning. Nice, nice. So the biggest thing I've noticed so far out of both of those attacks is not, like, you don't look nearly enough for, you know, for Lucio's kit. Almost zero wall riding at all. There's so many instances where you can just be aggressive by using the wall rides. And if anything, it just makes you harder to hit, right? So this ore is pretty big. You can see it out here. This ore is huge. You're playing more of a chess master style, Lucio, but not really communicating with your team and not really like recognizing the opportunities where you need to be moving people. For example, like when you need to push in there. So if you're gonna play chess master style, Lucio, you have to have like a higher understanding of the game and be like constantly shot calling, like calling like what you're trying to do, like where you want people to move, where you're speeding, when you're not speeding, like, oh, I'm speeding us left, stuff like that. That's the chess master style Lucio, right? Chess masters, you think of it this way, so it's like as if you're playing, everybody on your team is a chess piece, and everybody on the other team is the enemy team's chess pieces. So you're trying to move your chess pieces into an area where they will win the game versus the other team's chess pieces. That's the idea of Chess Master Lucio. It's good to have both, right? It's good to have both Reddit Lucio and Chess Master Lucio, because, oh, you're gonna get killed by this Rhine, unless you went off the map. Let's get you off. Okay. Let's go over this sequence one more time, because I feel like you're kind of lost here. I don't know if it's the recording quality or what right here, because it kind of looks like you're just like cutting out a little bit, or at least you're freaking out a little bit here. So during this, right, during this sequence, I want to see you like be comfortable doing this shit. Bang off this wall, then bang off this wall, then bang off this lamp on the way by, like 1, 2, 3. That's what wall riding actually is being able to jump from place to place like that and be able to quickly move wherever you need to be going, right? If you get through this quickly, if that may like walls you alone, fine. If you get through there a little bit quicker though, you might be able to scout out what's going on above you a little bit better and just see what's going on. Like, it's better in general to be able to use your entire kit, whether or not in this situation it would be right or wrong, than to not be using it at all. So it's like, really it's just ground Lucio. Like, this is what I would expect really from a Lucio who's filling, right? If you were, like, let's say, like, you were an off-tank player or something, or maybe even a main tank player, and you got forced onto the Lucio role for the game, this is how I'd expect you to play, because this is how I play when I play Lucio. Or at least, like, the chess master don't really read it at all, because I just don't know how to wall ride that well, because I don't play the hero. So, if you're wall riding more, like, and, like, doing the little bunny hops and whatnot, at least it makes you harder to hit, and you're kind of working on what you need to be doing anyways. Because, I mean, even if there's situations here where you don't need to be, you should be, like, always ready to get shot at. So it's like, if you're always moving, always, like, you know, as hard to hit as physically possible, then that time where a Widow peeks out and you don't see her, you're already just making yourself more difficult to hit. Right? So, like, during this, right, like, this Genji's coming at you. If this Genji has dash, you're dead, right? You want to know how many times I've heard, like, the most maniacal laugh in a game, like, from my duo, when there's a Genji chasing him with a blade, because he's just laughing his ass off as he's trying to catch him and he can't catch him? It's actually not even okay. So right here, right, you do one wall ride, but you don't keep going this way, you don't go this way. You just kind of like slowly back off. Like, why not just go this way, right? Or even use these pillars that are over here. This tells me that I don't, one, know if you even have backwards wall riding turned on. B, are definitely not comfortable backwards wall riding, which I'm pretty sure most of like the GM top 500, probably more to top 500 Reddit Lucios, are probably comfortable wall riding backwards around an entire map. Like, just off rip. They've probably done it at some point in a custom game. You can easily outrun this. Your boop is your saving grace when they come in, but when he comes for that dash, you should have already been at like hypersonic speed at this point, because you're not helping your team here, right? Like, you're trying to survive and save yourself. Also, I think was that the tire? Something came over to you, but you're on your own, right? You're working on your own. So if you're working on your own, do what's in your best interest, and your best interest there is to wall ride and use your speed advantages to their maximum. Bunny hopping on the sides, like all the tips and techniques for Lucio wall riding. If you don't already know them, there's plenty of guides out there for it. If you don't know how to wall ride backwards, go into custom games and start practicing those. Like, just confidently wall ride backwards. It's really simple. Like, it's just work. It's just practice. That's all it is.
We can get a tick. We can get a tick.
So this is pretty smart. LOSing the Torb turret. It's pretty smart.
And on the left, one. Nice.
And it went to oof really quickly. So that's one of the few things you can't actually out wall ride right there is a Torb turret, but it's like the only thing maybe.
Get out, Anna. Can we save Anna or no?
We got 2-6.
Good jump, Anna, no!
I don't like to normally consider tilt factor, but a Lucio wall riding around like that's just constantly harassing people and they can't kill him is tilting. Yes, you're not wrong, chat. But I don't typically like to consider tilt factor. I feel like that's just an added bonus.
Okay, they may walled off the wall, so they don't have wall right now, so you gotta take advantage. Okay, he has it.
Making a walk, so stay inside.
So you're starting to try to wall ride right here, but it's like the one time you actually can't. If you were confident here with your wall rides, right, who on their team can really punish you, right? I don't remember what their team comp is. Is it Torb, May, Ryan, Zarya, and then supports? Nobody in that comp really one-shots you unless May hits you with a headshot and Torb hits you with a couple shots. If you were confident with wall riding here, you could literally just waltz the fuck in here really quick on the walls, like, right? Speed in here. Their May is on the left side over here. Just bait out the wall maybe, because it's a Plat May. Might hit this wall while you're in there. Go for her, get a couple shots on her, boop her back, come out this window on the far side, and loop back around by your team's regrouping. Because your team's regrouping here, right? Like, you're just about to spend some time just hanging out here, not really doing anything. Because unless you guys actually end up pushing in, you're down. Yep, your team's a little so suicidal, but hey, this is Plat, so, you know, it happens. But, like, it's just a choke war at this point. You're just gonna hang out over here. Oh, they do have a Hanzo now. They swapped. They have Hanzo now. So that could have sucked. But that's something you probably would have checked. What did I just watch? Did that actually happen? Fuck it. That's a big brain shred, I guess, right there. So I think this is probably the best instance I've seen of it yet, or at least best example, that your Lucio shooting mechanic needs a little bit of work. But it definitely needs some little bit of work. This Hanzo is pretty much standing still. Like, he's walking in straight lines and just walking like in super predictable patterns. That kind of tells me you don't really understand how this Lucio Oreos work. So, biggest thing for you right now is you need to hit some tryhard lobbies, some like 24/7 tryhard lobbies that allow Lucio, and literally just go play GM top 500 to bronze players, just playing Lucio only, and see if you can beat them. See if you can beat them. Yeah, you're probably going to get shit on a lot of the times, but I mean, you're going to get better aim. You're going to know what you can challenge and what you can't challenge. And it'll really push your limits by using Lucio's kit. Because if you play ground Lucio like this in a tryhard lobby, where it's like nothing but McCrees, Widows, Tracers, Hanzos, and whatnot, and there's players that are above probably, let's say, 3,500 at all, like even one, you're getting just completely just destroyed, massacred. It won't even be fair. Okay, so I kind of like... What were we doing with the scouting? I kind of like that, honestly. So you can do that later, though, because there's going to be swaps and just, like, hang out up top. Where, like, behind you, or, like, up here. You could totally still do the scouting, though, and just get out. See, like, during this, like, you're going to eat this fire strike, aren't you? I stand corrected. You did not. However, though, I mean, you shouldn't even be in this spot, really, to be eating that. I'm not saying you wall right up here, but you can come up in this window a little bit as long as they don't have anything that picks you. Like, if they have a Hanzo or a Widow, don't do that. But, I mean, even back behind you at this corner, there's a wall. You can just wall right on that wall a little bit. Just be a little off the ground. A little bit off the ground. Makes you harder to hit. And you can still heal and speed everybody. I like the aggression there. Nice job. The boop makes it a very predictable shot. If you don't already know that, I mean, just think of it this way. So it's like with Zarya, right? If you're shooting a target, it's going to have a bad day. And you're having a hard time that's tracking him. You should right-click here. Shoot the right-click here. That will boop him this way. So that means you can track him. You'll know every single time if you shoot a right click on the right side of him for like half a second or so, he will go this way to the left. The same thing here applies for Lucio, right? So if you I kind of, you know, he's whatever. If you're shooting at him and you boop him, right? If it's a you boop, the boop comes from this way. He will always go in that straight line for that boop, and it should be easy to triple headshot melee him. Every single time, if you can get it down. Not easy. Not easy. I'm not saying it is. But a target like McCree, it's a lot easier. That's pretty much where I learned how to practice with Primal, is Zen, McCree's, and I don't remember who I chose for the last one, but pretty much Zen and McCree's, because they're so low mobility, and I just turned off all their abilities and just farmed them for a couple hours, because like they're so slow. You can kind of do the same thing here with like Lucio. With you can predict their pattern when you boop them up. It really makes a huge difference. That's why I love these VOD reviews. I'm glad you do. Also, yes, that was. I hope that that artwork gets nominated for an award. I don't know what art awards are, so. Okay. You want to tell me where you don't know how to wall ride? Here it is. Mei wall goes up. So instead of going on top of the Mei wall and just being an asshole, you actually play straight into what they want and go here, right? Who goes here? The people that can't actually do anything different. So if you're a Hanzo, you can go up the wall. If you were Genji, you can go up the wall. If you were Widow, you'll be behind probably on a higher ground, so you can see over the wall, or at least somewhat over the wall. You're one of those people that can go over the wall. Reinhardt's and Zaryas go this way, or Junkrat's and McCree's. So you just eat this right to the head. Luckily, though, you managed to get out right away, but that could have been really, really, really bad. And there's no need to take that, right? Like, you have the ability to not have to take those fights.
No Mei wall, so there's no punishment.
So I'm not sure why Moira just gave up trying to shoot you. You're 100 HP. She could have actually won that fight. So this is where things are going to get dangerous. Yeah, you're just down there. I think you did the right job, the right thing, forcing out the Moira. I think you just lose the front line battle there, so I honestly think that was okay. You're also running Mercy's Lucio heals, which is just not enough for a frontline battle. It just isn't.
It was both the fours. I thought we were gonna cut.
Remember what I said was best case scenario for you guys on attack? Yeah, now this is worst case scenario for you on defense. So you just lost Zarya. So right, there's your stagger. Here goes Rein. Oh, he's gonna make it. Is he gonna make it? Wow, he made it. Alright. Kind of recovered that. I'm just actually impressed. In that kind of a situation, I feel like I would have left that Rein to die or tell him to die on point. So, if you didn't have to do this, right? If you didn't have to go save him, or if you did go save him, you actually did technically have time at this point right here, right? Leaking some Lucio strats here. Leaking Lucio strats. At this moment, you know what their team comp is. Maykree, Rein Zarya, supports, I don't remember. They are going to rush down main because they have a pick, just like you did. What is the best possible defense you could do here? Well, if you think about it, they have to cross a bridge to get here. Who is a really good troll on bridges? Lucio. So what I would do here, or what a lot of people do here, is either go up on this high ground, or the far one over here if you know how to wall ride and you can be very quick, like the very high ground, and you're able to recognize it. So just to be safe, I'm going to say this high ground. When they push through here on bridge, you either just wait till the Reinhardt comes across and boop the supports off, which isn't probably the best option. I'd go with option 2. Or option 2, when the Reinhardt comes across, you just swing on down here, boop Reinhardt off, and then swing on back up here without getting punished. And your whole team goes, hey, there's some unprotected supports right here. Kill them. Boop his ass off the bridge. You win the team fight. Or they all drop on the low ground. Now I know this is Plat, your team might chase them. And if they do that, I'm so sorry. But it will work out eventually, because if you just keep doing this enough times, you will have competent teammates, and hopefully they don't. You trap them on this low ground here, they are forced to either walk all the way out to the right, walk down to the left, and take 2 paths. One on the stairs to go to point, which is probably where they're going, or the other to loop back around and come through this room. All of those, A, buy you more time, B, separate them, and C, give you a better chance of winning this fight. Well, let's let it roll. I'll show you the exact moment you could be doing it. And boom, right here. Reinhardt, alone, away from his team. You might even get a May for a free, a free extra. Instead, though, it's like, and you see eventually what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you want to try to boop him down here. But it's about seeing the timings. Like, Overwatch is so much about timings. Like, I've heard, since doing coaching with, like, golds and silvers and bronze and plat and whatever it may be, I've heard more times, but I do that. When I say, like, you know, you need to do this, it's like, no, but I do that. Yeah, you do it, but it's like 8 seconds late. So it doesn't matter anymore. Like, the timing is so key in Overwatch that you need to have the timings down, or if you don't have the timings down, certain things don't work. Like, especially certain comps. Like, if you run certain comps, then they're not going to work unless the timings are perfect. That's why some of the weird comps were like, some of the new expansion teams have been running, like, they're kind of crazy, but, like, you know, they're just so crazy that when they have their timings down, it works. It's just kind of nuts. In this case, having the timing down on this bridge would be perfect. I don't know if you needed to beat there. What did you beat for? Did I miss something? Did they beat? Is it just a counter beat? So they beat, but they don't push in, really. I don't think you need to beat right away. That's what you would want to say beat for, is the shatter. Or grab. Okay. The second you do this, right? The second you see this Mei go into fucking Narnia, just leave her. Because now you have to think again. You, like, one of the best points of Lucio is thinking about your environment, right? Where is she going? She's going down here. What can she do down there? Not much. She can wall herself back up, but deal with her again then. Turn around. Help your Reinhardt. You're not hitting these shots. It's small timing stuff, but it's the reason I'm pointing it out for you more than anybody is because with Lucio, you need to understand environment. Half of Lucio's like other part of quote-unquote chess master is literally not only using his team and putting them where they need to be, but putting the other team where you want them to be. So if you have people on the low ground here, right, fighting, it's too quick, on the low ground here fighting, down below, then that means your team is going to have an advantage, the man advantage. If your wall riding was better, I'd be okay with that. Maybe. Maybe. That was really, really risky. I also wouldn't have went that deep. Oh, they have a Kree. Never mind. No, don't do that. They still have the Kree. I didn't think they have the Kree still. No, 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 no. You go this, right? They're running triple DPS, I think, at this point. This in here, you're a flashbang away from death. He's just an idiot. She's blind. And then he's noticed you. If it was him instead of him, you dead. You dead here.
He doesn't have shadow.
Okay. So this is Plat. This isn't, you know, you're following your team here. But I have to ask this question a lot of times is, do you understand, or I don't mean you personally, is just pretty much anyone should have this understanding is what is the point of high ground? Why do you want it? It gives good cover with the floor. So it's like natural cover. You can literally back away and it creates cover. It creates better sight lines. It creates better knowledge. So you can look down on the enemies and see where they exactly are, and it gives you better opportunities, right? You have the high ground here. Your team opts to give it up for the Mei, right? But what are you really going to do here on low ground a point? Heal maybe a little bit, but Lucio's healing is really not that fantastic. I feel like it could be more useful here. This is how I think you're going to be more useful. So if you don't drop this high ground here, if you stay up on high ground for this high noon, their McCree is going to stay up there. Oh, and you get fucking annihilated by it. You stay on this high ground. One, you're not probably going to get annihilated by the McCree because you can use this high ground to hide. B, when he's up here, when your team's fighting on point, you can be harassing him because he's a big point of their damage and keep them from just completely melting your tanks down. Ana's up there too. Soldier's up there as well. Three for one deal. But you guys lose this 100%. Okay. I know you're trying to stall. I know. But you can give up a little bit of this, right? So it's like, how much time do you like actually knock off the clock here, righty? So this is where you're going to touch the point. 452. 450. 2 seconds for your whole life. What I would have done here is I use this as your like point of sanctum, right? So I've seen Lucio stall this point out for years just by doing this, right? And so you just literally rotate around it, come over here, wall right across it. When you start getting shot at, come back on the other side. Then you do it again, come out on the other side, get shot at, rotate back. Then on like, let's say the third time, instead of coming around, you go back this way, rotate out, start stalling here, get shot at, rotate back again. You're not, 1, dead. 2, you're putting some kind of pressure on the point. But 3, you're not just flinging yourself at the other team. That's the big one. Hey, what's up, Fitz? How you doing, buddy? So your team's starting to sustain here. Like, if they had a little extra help, like, imagine. Like, those are big kills. Like, those are big kills to, like, take that back. you know, that's not going to happen every single time. So you need to be trying to do everything you can to contribute. Because, like, sometimes, you know, like, if you're stalling out a point and, like, you know, it's sometimes better to just trust that someone's going to try to step on it and you stay alive, like, while you're doing another rotation of it, than just to fling yourself at it. Because I can't tell you how many times, for a good example, on Temple of Anubis, Lucio's will be, like, stalling out for, like, a good minute. And then they have to take a break to heal. And, like, it's capping. And it's like, they won't jump back on. They'll wait till they're done healing, then go back. Because if somebody on their team can jump on while they're doing that, they'll get another couple seconds out of their stall as well. So it's like, yeah, they could go back for like 1 second, but that 1 second isn't worth the risk of maybe getting an extra 12 seconds if somebody's able to step in. It's kind of like trusting your team a little bit. If everybody just flings themselves at the point there, then it's just kind of a, you know, nothing's going to get done. Never used that spot before, but similar in Blizzard World works like the charm. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, I know you're not the one being targeted, but this is kind of what I'm talking about, is you don't have really almost any wall riding ability here. Is you're on the ground with a nanoed Reinhardt. Hell no! I am not being on the ground if I know how to wall ride during this. That is just not happening. You're dead. I'm not sure why you trusted the enemy team's Mei wall for cover. Especially when their soldier was so low. He gets healed up, but still, I'm not sure why we trust the Mei wall. Like it's gonna save us. This is another thing what I was talking about, though, is just kind of controlling the high ground as much as you can. So it's like, I know you die here, you come back out. The second this nanoed Reinhardt comes out, I'm probably playing back here on this wall I was talking about before, if anything. But this McCree on high ground is also an issue. So it's like, you gotta kind of commit. Do you commit to either going out here, because you do push out, right? Like, you push out for Soldier, you push out for Reinhardt. Second you drop this beat, like, you have like one of two options here, in my opinion. You either rush towards the McCree, because you have beat, so he's not going to kill you for at least a second or two, but it's like, gotta be quick. And like, rush up this wall and see if you can like kind of distract him, or at least make him pull the trigger quicker. Or B, you just get the fuck out back to that wall, which you gotta make that decision out right away. So the hanging around there, just like at the choke, kind of kills it. Whoa, okay, what did I miss? What's happening now?
Wait, damage was Ryan really quick? Oh wait, never mind, he's not going for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Back the fuck up, Zarya.
I can't believe he actually got that off. That's... okay. Just a lot of ground Lucio here. I'm fine. This is okay. Also, not really sure what's happening with your audio, so I'm just gonna turn this down because it's starting to sound kind of poop. Only thing I would say during this whole fight, like, see, this right here is probably the best line of sight, right? So if you want to back up a little bit here to like where the gravel is in the courtyard and shoot this angle, I'd like that. That's fine with me. But the one over here, because you like this spot over here a lot, right? Especially earlier, I wouldn't really do this too much, right? Because you only can really shoot this angle. And it's like they really have to push in for you to do damage here. Just micro stuff. I did think it was going to be toxic, I'm not going to lie. Your Ryan's nuts.
Might still be winnable. Might still be winnable.
Like, actually nuts. Like, he's brain GG'd, but, like, he actually, like, he's making it work.
Lucio's won.
He's making it work.
Right to the point. No, Lucio's still up. He's under the map.
Oh, why are you chasing a Lucio outside, buddy? I wouldn't. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you, Reinhardt. Nice. You didn't kill him. Hello? So, you can actually hear it, like, right here. Hold on. You can actually hear it. He catches himself. Right there, you just heard him. He catches himself. Like, turn around. Turn around. He needs to die. He can't stay there. Alright, you finally got him. He fucked his wall right up. That took way too long for him to fall. This is really good, though, for you. This is very, very good. No. No, no, no. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. They have Zarya. They're going to have a grab. That is their win condition now for beating you. There's a minute and 26 seconds left. They're going to get one grab. One grab. That's all they have to win this. And this is your counter to the grab. And it just kind of went out the window. I think it does inadvertently save you from tire, though, unless that was your team's tire. I actually can't really totally tell what's happening here, but you lose 2 to the grab at some point.
Wait, where's Ryan? Ryan, right here. Let's go.
I mean, is it bad to save him from tire? He didn't. Well, one, he didn't mean to. He doesn't mean to do that. That was totally by accident. Because with how low his beat was, if that tire was actually on top of them, like it should be, like that wouldn't save it. Like that tire blew up so far over his head. Like if that tire actually waited a half a second more, he doesn't kill it. So for using beat for tire, you have to literally use it like as it's on you, pretty much. That's the only way you actually counteract it, like really counteract it. It's just a bad tire, really, by their team. Like their whole combination here is just terrible. If you watch their grab right here, this grab, watch this grab combo. I'm pretty sure their Doomfist misses his combo. He whiffed the grab combo. So it's like, that's what I mean though, is when I was talking earlier though with timings, is like, it's, even though you're technically doing the correct thing for each like possible, like, or at least a possible correct option for each button press that they make, the timing's so off that it wouldn't matter. So it's like, yeah, it just wouldn't work out really. Anyways, so yeah, this is what I mean though, is if this Doomfist ult comes straight down in this grab, everybody in this grab is dead. That's what the best thing for this beat would probably be. If you're gonna beat the tire, it had to be on time, but it was just a happy accident, really. So yeah, it works out, but like that wasn't a play. Like yes, he realized that tire was coming out. Yes, he wanted the beat to counteract it, I guess. Even though the thing they needed to beat was the grab, because the tire was just extra. Because this combo should have finished them right here, this combo. But if you're going to beat the tire, it needs to be timed much better than that. Do you get what I'm saying, Lucas? So you guys actually end up managing to hold this? That's crazy. So about that scrim VOD I told you about yesterday in Pugs, all of them were wins sadly, so yeah, can't post them. Oof. That's actually kind of a rip.
I killed Lucio.
So So how did this happen? Oh, you're ground, Lucio. I'm not sure if I've seen like a real like Lucio who knows how to play Lucio die to a Doomfist in like 4 months. This is the first one I've seen. This is what I mean about ground Lucio, just, you know, being a bad habit. Because if you build the habit all the time, what we talked about way earlier, building the habit of not being like in, you know, are always trying to be like harder to hit, always trying to be on the walls, always trying to be in a place where you shouldn't be getting caught out that easily, because Lucio should be the hardest person to hit in the game, or at least one of them. This shouldn't happen. Yoink. Ground Lucio. Doomfist Lucio is literally like Doomfist's worst nightmare. Just saying.
Go for Res Mercy, I'll bubble you. Go, 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 go. If you have it, go.
Still winnable, still winnable. I'll be there, bro.
Okay, so you've practiced your rollouts. You practiced your rollouts. Okay. I can tell that's practiced. That is practiced. I'd like to see other practice, though.
Yeah, I think it's winnable.
Also, in this kind of a situation, you're not stalling this for very long. But this bell is only so good. So think about these walls up here. Right? These walls are fantastic for stalling. Okay. I like this, but go to high ground. Take the high ground. You were going for it already. This is the typical plat problem where most plats I review have this very keen, super needs to stay with the team mentality. Like they must always be with the team at all times or you're throwing. And I think it's because all the plats have bred each other to be like that at this point. But you don't have to always be holding their hand. Like, come on. A Lucio being coalescence through 6 of his team dying, that should never happen. Like, she doesn't even see you. This is just luck. She doesn't even see you. That's 100% luck. If you're up on high ground during that, you're still doing everything you need to be doing for your team. You're still healing and speeding or whatever it is. But on top of that too, you would have had free headshots in their Reinhardt in the grav during that. So yeah, your team clutches up, but you're not even there to help. You know? And it's like, you still want to, you want to always be actively helping out your team. So it's like, it just increases your chances of winning. You always want to try to be doing something if you can. Okay. I don't think you realized there, but I think you amp heals. Yeah, you amp heals, not speed onto him. And then you boop him away from your team. So you're running a Mei and a Sim of Reinhardt and a Zarya. Pretty much the brawl squad of this map. You know, the one thing you're missing is a Reaper instead. Doing this right here saves his life. Saves McCree's life. He was sentenced to death, but now he's alive. So A, speed. B, no boop. Bad boop. Also, you can angle your boop a little bit. There's actually a specific point where when you boop. So you know how when you boop here, you're kind of looking at the ground a little bit? Let me show you. You're looking down actually when you hit it, at this point. You're looking at the ground when you boop here. If you're on the, if you look up, okay, let's say, all right, forget where he's looking right now. This is level, right? This is a level place, you're looking straight forward at a level platform. If you boop, and let's say this is directly above you, this is at the floor. If you boop, if you look right here and then boop, you maximize your effectiveness of the boop. He will go the furthest. You actually probably get him off here if you boop this right. Yes, I also realized how that sounded. Stop it! You're repositioning him into his team. He was out of position here, right? And then you boop him back to his team. Just take the shots. Just take shots. A Reinhardt in the corner like that is scared. Like he's waiting for help. You send him back to his team and give him a gift, though. Well, have you tried Apex shit? Of course I have. I'm nasty at that game. I just don't stream it because, you know,
We do it again, boys.
I just don't feel like streaming it.
I'm more cautious though.
Alright, Maison, please move to the high ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Alright, right.
We're keeping
Okay. So I'd like to see more speed here. Because like this comp is more about like getting to point, it looks like.
Go in. We got sensor.
Don't totally agree with it, but hey. Might be some kind of like big brain Plat strat. Okay. So, let me tell you why I don't agree with this beat. I want you to listen to the audio cues.
We go in. We have sensor.
Freeze. Let's come out. For your team, right? Your freeze came out. Now, you hear high noon, and you see that Ana's dead. So it's only you here, and they're using an ult, and you've already used an ult, and you have no kills with it yet. So this means that most likely that this fight is no longer winnable because you've lost this piece. Even with the Mei ult froze people, but nobody died, right? Nobody's dead. That means you probably haven't had the ability to follow up on anybody yet. And I just don't like my chances there. I would try to turn around and see what's going on before you beat, not a reaction beat like this. So now you like have to commit to this fight. That's what I was afraid of, is their Mei ult now comes out. Their Mei ult's gonna come out, you have no way to save your team. They waste beat though, that's good. That's good, at least. But either way though, now you're at a huge disadvantage. That fight was already lost when we committed beat to it, so it just kind of makes this whole next fight take longer and have less resources for it. So it's something that I tell a lot of different people, like through a lot of the ranks, is like they have to be watching this corner and seeing what's going on with their team, who's alive, who's dead. Next level stuff is finding out what everyone's health is at, because you know you could still be 6 men up, but you have no health. Nobody has health, and you try to push in, and just everyone dies to like one Reinhardt swing. That can happen, but that's like next level. Also, it looks like again, like the audio is kind of starting to go to shit, so I'm gonna turn it down again. So they should have Shatter here. So even though I like the Winston swap, I don't think it's possible anymore. Okay, so this is the first time we've actually looked to go over the wall, which is good. I wouldn't go all the way over the wall, I just hang out on the top. Unless you're confident in your aggression. Oof. Yeah. That's kind of what I mean though about the Chess Master Lucio at the end though, is just making sure everybody steps through together. Ana never came through. So it's like, it kind of hurts more than anything that everybody comes through together. So it's like, but the big killer was the fight before with the beat. So this fight happens, you know, it happens. There's different ways you could have played this one, you know, like telling everybody to come through at this point, to speed through together, to keep the Mei wall from coming out. But I wouldn't say this fight was winnable anyways. They had ults, you didn't. The fight before that was the big one to win. So a lot of good stuff that at least you're starting to see when you should be doing things, but the timings need to be there. You definitely need to learn how to wall ride and wall ride backwards specifically. I would definitely work a little bit more on your confidence and mechanics. So it's like being able to take those duels as Lucio. I'm not saying you want to take duels up close with McCree, but I'm just saying like don't be afraid to shoot at certain things and don't be afraid to like play aggressive or whatever, because you stay a lot with your team, and don't be afraid to look for opportunities, because there's definitely opportunities, especially as Lucio. Lucio has he needs to know every map like the back of his hand, and he needs to know how to use the environment on each map. If he doesn't, then he's kind of a useless Lucio. Unless he's a chess master Lucio, then it's kind of like different. But even the chess masters kind of know how to play the maps. Hey guys, if you want to stay up to date with the latest, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, or join Discord. And if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. For more information on how to submit a VOD for review of coaching, please check the information in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching!